Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by returning Patreon supporter Kyo. Huge thanks to Kyo and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Kyo reached out asking for a budget list built around Hylda of the Icy Crown, and I was more than happy to oblige. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Hylda of the Icy Crown is a 4-mana 3/4 legendary human warlock. Whenever we tap an untapped creature an opponent controls, we may pay 1. If we do, we may either scry 2 then draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we control, or create a 4/4 blue and white elemental token. So Hylda is an army in the can grow that army, or helps us draw cards. We all know how much Commander players love to draw cards. Now, Kyo specifically asked for a deck that was under $200 but over $150, and he asked that we not run any fetches, shocks, or Soul Ring in his deck. So with the knowledge that we'll want as many ways to tap our opponent's creatures, what else do we need to build a Commander deck? 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. As I'm sure you've heard by now, this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard was made famous by their Boulder, which now come in these lovely 2-tone boxes, allowing you to show your guild loyalty. Unless you're a filthy Dimir player who is simply disguising their deck, trying to infiltrate and learn the secrets of that most entertaining of guilds, the Rakdos. Find out if your local game store carries the new Ultimate Guard Synergy Boulders, or click on the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. One more thing before we get started. I've been streaming Final Fantasy XIV over on my other channel, Musings by Danon, every weekday in the afternoons. If you want to pop in and ask some questions, chat about Commander, or just hang out, you're more than welcome to. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Sea of Clouds, Deserted Beach, Glacial Fortress, Glacial Floodplain, Idyllic Beachfront, Prairie Stream, Adarkar Wastes, Hengegate Pathway, Temple of Enlightenment, Azorius Chancery, Reliquary Tower, Scavenger Grounds, Myriad Landscape, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, 9 plains, and 9 islands make up our land base for this deck. Arcane Signet, Marble Diamond, Sky Diamond, Talisman of Progress, Azorius Signet, Mind Stone, Felwar Stone, Chromatic Lantern, Decanter of Endless Water, Wayfarer's Bauble, Solemn Simulacrum, Burnished Heart, Sword of the Animist, and Smothering Tithe make up our mana ramp package for this deck. Charade of Numbing Depths, Plunge into Winter, Frantic Search, Verity Circle, Gadwick the Wizened, Borrowing 100,000 Arrows, Rhystic Study, Teferi's Ageless Insight, Betrayal, Hithlane Knights, and Quick Study help us to dig through our deck and to keep our hands full. Counterspell, Negate, Dovin's Veto, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Darksteel Mutation, Disenchant, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Stroke of Midnight, Generous Gift, and Pongify help us to keep our opponents in line. Sunblast Angel, Farewell, and Cyclonic Rift allow us to reset the board as needed. Frostbridge Guard, Galvanic Giant, Hylda's Crown of Winter, Ice Rot Sentry, Opposition, Court Street Denizen, Bitter Chill, Freeze in Place, Solitary Sanctuary, Threadbind Click, Bluster Squall, Citadel Siege, Dream Shacklegeist, Timon Youthful Geist, Cone of Cold, Sleep, Topplegeist, Githzerai Monk, Lawsonarch Captain, Feeling of Dread, You See a Guard Approach, Elvish Mariner, Willbreaker, Blind Obedience, and Authority of the Consuls all serve to keep our opponents tapped down and hopefully tapping out. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 36 lands and 14 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 12 pieces of card advantage, counting our commander. 11 pieces of interaction, not counting all of our tap effects. 3 board wipes. 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Farewell and Scavenger Grounds. 1 Sudden I Win card in Willbreaker. With Willbreaker on the battlefield, along with, say, Opposition, we can tap our creatures, then tap our opponent's creatures, then steal them. For 1 mana, we can generate a 4/4 elemental token and do it all again and again and again. We don't have a ton of counterspells in the deck, but we should have enough to keep Willbreaker alive for a turn or two. That should be enough to turn our opponent's armies against them. I know a lot of you are getting ready to go down into the comments and ask why I didn't include Mind Over Matter. That's because Kyo specifically asked that I take it out of the deck. You see, he didn't want to be that evil against his playgroup, which I respect. Not all of us are as evil as Cute Stuff is. Do you have a Hylda of the Icy Crown deck? What's your secret deck tech? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, it will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Kevin, Alex, Cookie, Borgie, Jake, Exiled Rogue, Manassas, Noswin, and Kyo. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.